Hello everyone, welcome to the first Professionally Unprofessional of 2025.
Wait, we're not cancelled?
Amazingly, no.
Fuck!
I'm joined by my good friends Reese and Elliot once again.
Hello, everyone.
Friends is a loaded term. Let's just say not combative enemies.
Employees.
So I'm
People under his workforce.
well, we decided to get this one out a bit early. We normally start the year with our awards show, but we wanted a bit more time to play a couple of the games. So that's going to be in 2 weeks' time. We'll be giving out our own awards and deciding our own game of the year for 2024. We decided, though, there was two things we didn't discuss that happened at the end of 2024, and we'd use this podcast. We use this podcast to get those out the way. But first things first, let's discuss what did you guys do in your what games did you guys play in your downtime around the holidays?
Good news, Final Fantasy fans. I finally played Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Oh, did you?
Hey.
Bad news, Final Fantasy fans. I don't really like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I'm interested.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Now that's kind of a stretch. I do like it, but there are so many problems with it.
Would you say you like 16 more than 7 Rebirth?
Yeah.
That's funny because I'm complete opposite. I like 7 Rebirth way more than 16.
Well, first of all, they have not addressed any of my complaints with the combat.
I found the combat a bit more. You would have thought the fact you could swap combinations mid battle would help you.
Yeah, that wasn't one of my issues to begin with.
Right.
First issue, all enemies still target exclusively the character you're playing as, which is annoying.
That was always my experience.
No, that always happens with me. It always happens with me. It will immediately go after who I target, who I'm controlling. They stay on them for like 10 seconds if I swap to someone else, and then they just go after me again. It's a problem I had with the original Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it is so annoying. I hate when games do that. Like Dragon Age: The Veilguard doesn't do that. They actually have enemies go after your allies, and they don't have fucking health.
I want to point out, though, I wonder if that's a patch that's happened since me and Reese finished the game.
Yeah, because when I used to play, I used to swap teammates, and it's usually whoever did the most damage would draw aggro. Like I could switch off to Barrett from Cloud. Cloud would still retain the aggro for ages.
No, quite often they always go after who I'm playing as. And it's really annoying. And it also feels like the game's gotten a bit too bloated. Like there's a ton, like there's so much to do to the point where I'm just like, it's just too much, really.
It does edge into the Ubisoft model a couple of times, especially with like finding
a couple of times. They have fucking radio towers.
Yeah, that was one I noticed quite a bit. I mean, when we were playing it, me and Reese were calling them the Ubisoft towers.
And like, here's the thing. I'm a Yakuza fan. I'm used to like games with a lot of side content, but the difference is in Yakuza, the world is a lot smaller, and the side content really just feel like just stuff you can do on the side for fun. Meanwhile, this game, it feels like a lot of the side content is necessary.
The thing I don't...
It is all necessary for the platinum.
Yeah. Getting SP is a pain in the ass as well. Because like I've only really gotten them when I'm leveling up. And it feels like I should be getting this more often. Why is it taking me so long?
Well, the thing I don't like about Rebirth is going towards the end of the game when it gets very fanficky with the way it's written, and I'm kind of like, and it still doesn't feel like they've actually figured out what the end game is with this remake trilogy they're doing. So I
it's kind of another problem I have with it. And that's how they sort of treat the story. Because I feel like this game is being a lot more jokey with the story.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I
like having more outgoing characters, like Yuffie especially. I noticed is like just really cartoony, and the jokes. I'm sorry, the jokes are cringe. They're just so cringeworthy.
I will say the original game was a lot more lighthearted than people remember it being at a lot of
It
points.
was, but not to this extent.
God, I prefer Aerith.
But not to the point where Yuffie is like being a Sugoi anime girl.
I stand by though, Aerith is better in this than she was in Advent Children and in Crisis Core. I can't stand Aerith in either of those.
I've not played either. I've not seen Advent Children. I've not played Crisis Core.
I don't like the fact they turn her into this angelic figure that can do no wrong, and it's kind of like that's not in the game. She had a lot more personality.
I do like that things they have to expand the story. Like I do like sort of the strife Cloud and Tifa have at the beginning.
That gets better even later on. You get in the game.
Yeah, I like sort of. Yeah, my problem with the story is just they try to do more humorous stuff in it.
Whereas
to the point where it almost feels like it distracts.
Whereas my problem is with the stuff to do with Zack, where I'm kind of going, Nomura, when you want to have a point about this, let me know, because at the minute I'm really checked out with it.
It's Tetsuya Nomura.
And the route they go...
The guy who made Kingdom Hearts, you're not going to expect this to be easy to understand.
The thing is, Kingdom Hearts' plot is not as complicated as people make it out to be. It's really not when you get down to the brass tacks of things. It's actually...
It's just a plot that appeals to people who wank over the Black Album. No, the Black Parade, sorry.
So, Reese, you and I know one game you and I both played a bit because we finished off Season 0 of it, Marvel Rivals. We played a lot of that.
Yeah, that's been really good. No way in hell I'm going for the platinum because it keeps bugging out on me.
Yeah, there's I should also point out we're recording this the day of the beginning of Season 1, so Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman have just been added to the game.
Yeah.
And also they've added that Manhattan map, which I haven't experienced yet because I haven't got into a match there on that yet.
Yeah, when I think of Season 0, usually my thought is, so this is the beta of the game.
Yeah, you'd think that, but if it was the beta, it's a very good beta because...
I'll be honest, it just sounds like they're doing that to be quirky. Like, it's season 0, not Season 1. Look how wacky we are.
What I appreciate though is the storyline segments that you earn through like doing the doing missions, challenges. Yeah. You can go back and just get them if you've missed them in the first season. So you can just go back and get those now. Which and you can also go back and get the battle pass if you missed anything on that.
Yeah.
But
it's one of the big benefits is that battle passes in this game do not expire like in other games.
But the thing I also really like is as well they did the Christmas event, which was the Jeff the Landshark thing. I got all the rewards from that, including the winter outfit. Do you know what's amazing, Elliot? You know how Marvel Rivals is a massive Overwatch ripoff?
Yeah.
The Christmas event was a massive Splatoon ripoff. The basic it was cover Asgard with as much of your team colors snow as possible.
So now they're ripping off from Nintendo. I'm gonna expect a lawsuit in the new year.
I think they can get away with it because it was a timed event, and also if they were going to do that, they would have sued Foam Stars ages ago. Except Foam Stars didn't make any money.
On top of that, I've also been playing Nine Souls.
Oh yeah, how was that?
This game deserves so much more love. It is great. Like, why people were not comparing this to like Hollow Knight or like some of the really good Metroidvanias? I honestly have no idea.
I agree. I played a bit of it and it was really good.
I've gotten like 10 hours into it or something like that, and it's just so much fun. Like the combat is very Sekiro-like, so like revolving a lot around sort of parries and whatnot. And once you get the timing down with all the parries, holy shit, you feel like a god. Yeah, and the platforming really reminded me a lot of Ori. With the way it works in that game, it's a lot more compared to like Hollow Knight. There's a lot more precise platforming in place. Yeah, there are obviously some of the bits that I do think are kind of bullshit, and some bits that are just like, that's not really very fair. But you know what? Still really great. Still really great.
I still think I like Hollow Knight more, just at this point. But I could change my mind on that one.
I prefer this.
I mean, Ori is my favorite Metroidvania, but we can come back to that one another time.
My favorite still Metroid Dread.
So, one more thing before we do move on. I've been playing. I finished off the Castlevania DLC for Vampire Survivor.
Woo!
I've now unlocked all but one of. Actually, no, I should say I've not unlocked one character because he's unbelievably expensive.
I'm not even playing the Castlevania DLC. I'm just unlocking the characters by typing in the codes.
Honestly,
I type in the codes for all the ones that aren't unlocked by evolving this weapon.
Yeah, no, it's probably no. I must be honest. I did that for a few of them. But
I like to know the reason why is because I like to play Vampire Survivors while I'm listening to audiobooks. So and the DLC is just it distracts a little bit too much.
Yeah, I still stand by though. The map, the Castlevania map, is the best map they've done for the entire series because I love the fact they've introduced optional mini bosses as a concept to the game.
I mean, there have been other ones that kind of done that, like Contra. The Contra one has like an end boss in this map.
Yeah, but the point is that's not optional, really. Whereas with Castlevania, you can tackle them in whatever order you want.
Yeah.
I do think, though, I'll be honest though. I think I really, really hope they make more Vampire Survivor DLC. But if this is the last one we get, I wouldn't be too disappointed either.
I mean, what else could they really do? They've done Castlevania. They've done the big one.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, they do a couple of small updates every now and again. Like they introduced co-op a couple of months ago, and that got barely any fanfare.
Yeah.
Now you know how the Cult of the Lamb community feels.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I played a bit more of that actually over the period. That's gotten really good in the last few months.
It's got so many updates, and they are all fantastic.
I must be.
You can breed your followers now, and the babies are fucking adorable.
I must be honest though, Elliot. I think the town management is not entirely. I'm not entirely great on that one. I mean, it's my skill issue at the end of the day. But
I think it's a. Yeah, I really like the town. The town sort of building up the cult and looking after your followers. That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah, and I did put the cult.
How many followers have you got currently?
Oh God, I've lost track now. I think I had like 42 at this point.
I had well over 100.
270 and 47.
Yeah, I'm not very good at
actually,
this game.
I think mine might be more. My PS5 is fucking lagging so much.
And that's the PS5 version. God help you if you do it on Switch.
Oh good God, that's gonna. Nah, my Switch will be on fire, but by the time I get to like 50.
So,
I've seen someone reach 500 followers. I'm trying to beat that.
I think we need to move on to our first topic. So we're going to start with the first one that happened, which was I ended up staying up to watch the Game Awards in the end. Ellie,
you're the one of us who cares about it more than the rest of us.
Because I caught it in the morning after.
So without giving away our...
I stayed up.
I'm glad I did stay up because I think that was... I'll stay by it. Despite the fact I have some criticisms of it, I think this was the best Game Awards in the 10-year history it's had.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the only one I can think of that didn't have any glaring issues.
Yeah, where I didn't think, why was that shown? Or that took up a bunch of time. Or that was just there for a celebrity to give it a bit of their thought process. Like, even the one that was the most celebrity focused, which was that one where they got Aaron Paul in it.
Yeah, they were partly showing off Laura Bailey as well.
Yeah, but but that game actually looks really good.
Yeah, definitely looks a lot better than a lot of the other narrative-focused games we've seen.
But some of the reveals were great. Witcher 4 looks amazing.
But yeah,
it's funny to see Borderlands 4 after that film flopped.
Yeah, Borderlands.
We saw that like when in all fairness, we saw that trailer for the first trailer for that when the film just after the film came out, and everyone knew how bad it was.
I mean, yeah, I'm a bit concerned about Borderlands 4, like, because Gearbox have not been great in recent memory.
I mean, I've always kind of trusted them with the Borderlands series. Like, a lot of people said Borderlands 3 wasn't great, but that's more because of the villains.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't think Borderlands 3 was that bad.
Yeah, I mean, the main issue with it was just that I wasn't Handsome Jack.
I would like to point out though that I'm not the big. I should say Elliot's a bigger fan of Borderlands than I am, so he's probably more to talk on this subject than me.
Well, I'm more. Well, I've only really played 2. It's just because my dad and my brother had a major Borderlands phase.
Yeah, no, I played the first one with someone who's not to be mentioned because they're currently in prison.
Ren.
Not Ren in this instance for legal.
But, not this time.
Yeah, but so obviously I have bad memories with that game now. But I probably should play Borderlands 4, so I overwrite it with something else.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably take the review job for that one. Maybe.
Yeah, because my experience was playing the original back in high school with friends at the time.
Speaking of
my first one was Borderlands 2.
Speaking of which, we had reviews changed over in last night because Assassin's Creed Shadows got delayed to the same day that Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition comes out. So Reese won't play it now, so I have to play it.
Yay! Look at you.
Yeah,
very lucky.
I think they got scared of Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out around the same time.
Yeah, so they decided to change. No, they got scared of the Yakuza fans.
Oh yeah, Yakuza's out around the same time as well. Yeah, those games are definitely going to both outsell Assassin's Creed.
Oh, easily.
Massively. Especially since Worlds and Rise are the 2 biggest selling games for Capcom of all time.
Yeah, and let's be honest.
And also because Yakuza star Majima, which is a fan favorite.
And also, you're going to get tons of wrestling fans buying the new Yakuza game because Samoa Joe's in it.
Oh.
Which doesn't surprise me. Samoa Joe spent a lot of time in Japan, and I believe he really liked it while he was out there. And I think he's a big fan of the game series. I know Kenny Omega is because I think he's actually got a cameo in one of them.
Ah.
Yeah, put it this way: he's such a big fan of Square Enix and Japanese RPGs. He played Cody in a trailer for Street Fighter. And his new theme song for Going to the Ring is written by Nobuo Uematsu. It's unbelievable. And he also went to the ring once dressed as Sephiroth.
Of course.
There's to silence everybody.
There's but I think there was a couple that everyone talked about. Witcher 4 obviously did produce a ton of comments after the fact. As soon as that trailer came up, I just knew the worst side of the internet is coming out for this game.
I'm surprised we got a Witcher 4 trailer to begin with. That game has only just entered full development.
Yes, this is basically a trailer to say we're recruiting new staff. This was basically a job advert more than it was.
I mean, they have. Yeah. I mean, to the point where they have a CGI trailer. That's not just like this is started. That is kind of a big deal.
I know what you mean, yeah, but you got to remember, we had a CGI trailer for Mass Effect, and that was basically a we're hiring trailer.
What?
Yeah, remember in 2020, the Game Awards of 2020, we had a Mass Effect CGI trailer. We still haven't seen anything of that game since then.
Also have it with Cyberpunk as well.
Cyberpunk as well, that also had a we're hiring trailer.
That was, I think with Cyberpunk, that was more of a concept trailer when that was first announced.
Okay, so I think the other big one to talk about is Okami 2 and Hideki Kamiya working on it. That was the highlight of the night for me. That was fantastic news.
Because
it's been 18 years since the original.
Because
it's been a long ass time.
Because these two are nostalgia blind.
I will admit.
Oh yeah,
no, absolutely. But it's great to know that. In fact, Capcom had a very good night with the whole Game Awards because they had a good trailer for Monster Hunter. I think they had a couple. They announced the return of Onimusha, I believe.
Yeah. 2026. That one's going to be a while away.
Yeah, but it's good to know that it's in development. Like again, the Okami one just announced it was in development, but it's nice to know it's in development. So I think Okami's a long way off. I'd say
Oh, definitely. At least 3-4 years.
Yeah, I was about to say at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But again, I'm nice to know it's in development. And of course the ending I actually before we get to the ending trailer, I did like the look of a couple of other games. Like I like the look of that new Pac-Man game, which kind
Oh, yeah, it's getting very dark and twisted.
yeah, it looks a bit weird, but I'm all for it.
Isn't that based off the secret level episode
I
that
think
people said was kind of disappointing?
yeah, it was disappointing. In fact, Secret Level was a bit of a disappointing show altogether because the best episode was the Mega Man episode, and it's like
I haven't watched it.
don't bother, it's not worth it.
I've heard people say they like the Warhammer one.
The Warhammer one's okay, and the Mega Man episode is great, but it's only 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's great because it's actually great, or is it because it's Mega Man?
No, it is really. They've nailed Mega Man. Armored Core as well. That again, very good episode. Too short.
Yeah.
And again, it's Armored Core. Why can we not devote a bit more time to Armored Core?
Because it's a very niche series.
Like the one that probably got the most amount of time was Dungeons and Dragons, and that was one of the worst episodes.
Yeah.
How
much time did Concord get?
Barely anything.
Ha.
They did not give a shit about. You could tell.
Rightfully so.
I could not believe they still put that episode out because you're basically advertising a game no one can play.
Well, I mean, what do you expect? They dedicated a bunch of time. It was complete. They're not Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but Sony would have had the final say on that one because Sony could retract that episode anytime they want. They just had to say, we're taking back the license. You don't have the license to broadcast this. So Sony at some point must have said, yeah, we don't care. Just put it out. What about... but again, the final trailer was...
you forgot one.
Which one are we forgetting?
You forgot one game. Make the joke, Priest.
It's Elden Ring, Fortnite Rain.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Elden Ring.
It's not like Fortnite though. I stand by that. It's more.
Except Till is in every way.
It's more like
and everyone's commented on, including the law experts from the Soul series.
I definitely
by Varty and everyone else.
I got to be honest, Reese. I'm more with Elliot on this one. I think it's way more Monster Hunter than it is Fortnite.
You're just saying that because you think it's going to trigger me. I just think the joke is fucking stupid.
No, I agree.
And you think?
No, I agree with you, Elliot. I definitely think it's more. The impression I got from the trailer was more Monster Hunter than it was Fortnite. But I will say the idea of doing a completely multiplayer-focused Elden Ring game really interests me because FromSoft have never done a game like this, and it is FromSoft doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, Miyazaki has said that sort of, I think a while ago that they were kind of doing more games that people wouldn't be expecting from them, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, because it's also a different director as well. It's not Miyazaki doing it.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm glad it's as a thing. I haven't signed up for the beta because I think I'd rather just wait for the whole thing to come out. I think.
Yeah.
I also don't think I'm going to do that well when I have a preset character because the thing that I like about Elden Ring is just how versatile you can make your character, and I'm hoping they'll carry that over.
I think the thing is though it looks like they're expanding the combat quite a bit. So like they're gonna make it a bit more hack and slash than traditional Souls, like at least from like the abilities I noticed you get.
All I can say is
because.
I'm mostly thinking of the one where a guy jumps like 30 feet into the air with wings and slams the spear down. That is not an Elden Ring.
Yeah, because I was watching the trailer and I was thinking, this. I think this is DLC, but this really does not look like the sort of gameplay you can do in Elden Ring. What the hell have they done here?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching a breakdown by Varty, broke it down, and each of the characters represents a different Souls game. Like there's a guy who does the parry mechanic from Sekiro. Another character who does visual attacks and trick weapons from Bloodborne and such. So they're like merging all the timelines.
Yeah, I mean, we already know that because we noticed some of the bosses from previous Souls games showing up in it.
I'd be so in. I honestly, this has probably become one of my most anticipated games for 2025. I am stoked to play Elden Ring.
apparently, from what I've heard, the way it's going to be done is it's going to be like a day and night cycle. So like 3 days and 3 nights. Spend the days, I think, powering up, and then the nights you fight a boss or something like that. Which I heard that, and I just like, that's the Bloodborne card game. The goddamn Bloodborne card game works exactly like that. You fight some enemies, then you fight a boss, repeat 2 more times.
I must be honest, Elliot. I really did not expect this trailer to come out because I thought.
I don't think anyone did.
No, because I thought I overheard Miyazaki at an interview saying we're probably not doing much with the Elden Ring IP.
No, they said they weren't going to do an Elden Ring 2, at least not immediately. They have other projects in the works, and this is one of them, no doubt.
I'm glad they don't just want to make Elden Ring 2. They want to try and push themselves to do some interesting ideas. What do you?
I mean, since the end of Dark Souls, they have said, no, we want to try new things with the Souls formula.
I'm very interested to the point where they're doing guns in a Soulsborne.
We got that. It's called Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, no, I mean where it's completely gun focused.
There's a Souls-like game.
We had that. It was Armored Core.
Yeah, I was terrible at it. Okay, so I think. Do you think this is second half of the year, like July to December time, or do you think this is coming the first half of? Because I feel like this is a September October release.
I think it's going to be like second half. Yeah, I think we still have more to see from that.
Yeah, it definitely makes more sense to do like release around Halloween time.
Honestly, considering the game, I wouldn't be surprised if we got an entire presentation just focused around it.
Yeah, because they did a presentation before Elden Ring came out to say, look, you've played a lot of Souls-like games before. This is how this one's going to be a bit different. And I think this one's going to be so much more different that the community's going to need some to watch. So I will watch that presentation when it comes out live, because I really want to know what this game's going to be like. I think we have to. Is there any more trailers you want to comment on before we comment on the final trailer and what we thought about the awards?
Just go have a look through. I'm surprised you have not brought up the Sonic Team Racing game.
Yeah, because there's not much to talk about. It's they just showed off that there's a new Sonic Racing game coming out, and honestly, I didn't really like the last one. I think
I thought you liked the last one.
No, I like the first two. I like Sonic and All Stars Racing. I love All Stars Racing Transforms, one of the best kart races ever made. But
we got a couple of projects announced by RGG Studio.
Yeah, that looked all right.
New Virtua Fighter and a new Yakuza-like game from the looks of it.
Clive coming into Tekken from Final Fantasy 16. That already happened.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone was hyped to that when that dropped. And of course, Ben Starr being amazing, cosplaying and going live on his Twitter account and Instagram.
Of course he did. A new project by Team Eco.
I mean, that's cool to know it's happening. There was the Helldivers DLC.
That introduces a new faction to the game.
Split Fiction looks interesting, actually.
Split Fiction looks pretty good, yeah. I'm interested, especially because it's from the devs that did It Takes Two.
Yeah. Yep. Which somehow ended up winning the year it came out.
That's what. Well, you got to remember, Elliot. It's 90% of the votes come from the jury, 10% comes from the public vote.
Yeah. We also got a trailer for Slay the Spire 2.
Slay the Spire 2, yeah, that looks great.
Yeah. I actually had to delete Slay the Spire because I got really addicted to it, and I just realized, wait, this is just frustrating me now.
Yeah, that was a.
This is just pissing me off. I'm gonna go off.
It didn't help that it was on Xbox Game Pass, so that meant I could get it back anytime.
It's on PS Plus.
Oh, it's on PS Plus now. Cool.
Yeah, it was the entire time.
I never spotted that. I'll have to. I might get it on PS Plus.
Aside from maybe the Outer Worlds 2 trailer, nothing else really.
Yeah, Outer Worlds 2. That trailer was one of my highlights of the night. That game looks great.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. I never played the Outer Worlds 1. I really need to. It's on PS Plus.
But this one caused a bit of controversy for the Xbox fans because it's going to PlayStation 5 day one. Same as Doom: The Dark Ages, which I believe we're actually getting a presentation next week that will give a.
The Xbox thing.
We're getting the Xbox Developer Direct, and Doom: The Dark Ages is going to be in that. So
I am going to be getting that on PC because I can confirm when it comes to Doom, I am dog shit playing it with a controller.
We all know what I'm like playing with a controller.
Yeah, you are banned on this game as well.
So
massively.
That's why Reese is insisting on doing a review instead of me.
Yep.
But Xbox, in fact, to such an extent, we're actually changing the name of the category next year for our awards. For the 2025 awards, it's going to be called Best Xbox First Party / Exclusive Game, so that way Reese and Elliot can take part because they can definitely play Doom: The Dark Ages and The Outer Worlds.
I mean, I'll just play those games on PC.
Yeah, but the point is, it means Reese can now take part completely.
Yeah.
And also, it does look like Xbox are moving away from the idea of exclusives being there. Even permanent exclusives look like they will be a thing of the past. It looks like everything's going to be at least timed exclusive, if not same day PlayStation 5.
Are you sure Are you sure an Xbox is worth it now?
I'm starting to get concerned about it, I'll be honest. I think the thing for me will be, I will say it's not worth it when the next Halo game goes PS5 day one. Second that happens, it's like, yeah, they don't care anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they still have Forza.
Yeah, I think Forza's going in a couple of months. I can believe when Forza Horizon 6 is revealed, we might see that PlayStation 5 logo.
Yeah, because at this point, PlayStation players aren't into car racing as much. Like Gran Turismo 7 didn't sell that well.
Can we say
in
though?
Comparison.
Can I say though, the two games that are confirmed for PlayStation 5 from Xbox Studios this year are Doom: The Dark Ages and The Outer Worlds. Now, those series always had PlayStation audiences, so I think it makes sense putting them on PlayStation 5 day one.
Yeah.
It's more the fact, it's like Indiana Jones is going there in a few months, and I'm kind of like, yeah, at least you've built up a bit of time to do that. But they need to be a bit more consistent about what's going to be PlayStation 5 day one and what's going to be a timed exclusive and what's going to be a permanent exclusive. So like South of Midnight, how long is that going to be an exclusive to Xbox? Because we're seeing that next week as well.
I think that's going to be timed.
Yeah.
I reckon they might wait for critical reception on that one before they decide. Because remember, Hi-Fi Rush was Xbox exclusive for a year before it went to PlayStation. Less said about what happened after that, the better.
Redfall.
Woo!
But yeah, that's going to remain Xbox exclusive.
Because no one gives a shit.
Actually, I will say, before we go on to the final trailer for this thing, congratulations Tango Gameworks for coming back, and they've now got projects on the work, and they've got a new building, a new office, as far as I'm aware. So,
that's good.
So they're really being set up well by their new owners, and they're basically just being told get on with it. So we could be seeing Hi-Fi Rush 2 in a few years' time.
Either that, or they're going to add Shy to PUBG.
Or Smash Bros.
Oh, please put Shy in Smash Bros. That would be the most amazing thing. So, final trailer was Naughty Dog's new game, Intergalactic, which definitely looks like it's quite a while off. I don't know what to make of this one because I didn't get an idea of what the general gameplay is going to be like. It reminded me a lot of the first trailer for The Last of Us in that sense of, okay, you've got an interesting idea here, but I don't know what this game's going to be, too much of what this game's actually going to be like to play.
Because from what we've seen, it's an intergalactic bounty hunter just attacking monsters on a planet.
Yeah.
From what we've seen.
It could be the answer to Ratchet and Clank. Doing sort of a space opera kind of thing.
It could be a Souls-like they're going for, because it looks like some aspects of it feel a bit Souls-like-y.
I think it would be better if it was a hack and slash, definitely. I don't if it's a Souls-like, they usually show off the revival mechanic in the trailer.
Yeah, I get your point on that one. What about
which they haven't in this one? It doesn't seem like.
What do you guys think of the fact of for a lack of a better term, Guardians of the Galaxy-ifying of effect of this game? Because they did it did end the trailer with the main character putting a CD in and playing "It's a Sin" by the Pet Shop Boys.
I think this one definitely seems to be doing a better job with it than the other games. But the other games seem to be doing like mostly just making it very quippy, and to the point where it becomes ear grating. This one doesn't seem to be as quippy. They more just seem to be taking inspiration of 80s music meets space adventure thing.
Do you know what? It's where I confirmed one thing I confirmed with that is that when I spoke to my friends from America, the Pet Shop Boys are not as big in America as they are in the UK.
Yeah,
because I actually had a conversation with a friend from America who he actually wasn't aware too much of their music, and he wasn't aware they were openly gay.
Yeah,
yeah. Because I
said I didn't know they were openly gay. But in all fairness, I don't listen to Pet Shop Boys.
That's what the song "It's a Sin" is about. It's about the condemnation of homosexuality.
I did not know that.
It's what.
Well, they are a band from the 80s, so
yeah. But because I thought that was going to be the thing that the Gamergate arseholes would complain about with this trailer. But no, they apparently had a problem with the fact there's a bald woman.
Yeah, that's the thing I knew they would have a problem with.
Yeah, it was that and the Witcher 4 trailer. I was kind of going, oh no.
Yeah, people were saying no. Yeah, with the Witcher 4, people were saying, "Oh, Ciri looks ugly." Like, bro, she looks badass. The fuck are you on about?
Yeah, I'm kind of. And I just went. I was looking at both of those trailers, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be my entire timeline tomorrow morning."
With the Witcher 4, I didn't think about the reaction online. I was just hyped,
and people.
I just saw Ciri, saw her doing Witcher shit. I was just like, "Oh man, this is going to be sick."
Yeah, no, I'm dead excited for Witcher 4.
Honestly, Witcher 4 is a highlight for me.
The one thing I will say,
just going to say, you said it's all the right-wing people. They were taking screenshots of in-motion frames and saying how ugly she looks. Well, yeah, the face is distorted due to motion. Yeah, she's not going to look like a supermodel.
That's how it works. And also, she's a badass. Fuck off.
Mate, Pornhub's right there. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, try. I can guarantee you one thing. You can't play The Witcher with one hand.
Yeah.
She's tried.
Repeatedly.
Yennefer's on screen.
But a lot of people were saying, why are we not playing as Geralt again? I was like, you guys...
Because he's taking the back seat. We've known this since The Witcher 3's been out.
Yeah, I was going to say...
The man has retired.
Yeah, I was going to say, they haven't played Witcher 3 then, have they?
No, of course they've not.
Because it's a Ghost of Tsushima. It's like, yeah, that one... Of course Jin's not the main character in the next one. His story arc is done. There's nowhere for it to go.
I will admit, the Ghost of Yote's trailer did actually make me look up if there were female samurai. There are. They're badass.
Yeah. There's tons. It was and they were from what I've seen of it, they were extraordinary women.
Yeah.
But okay, let's talk about the actual awards, because actually even that was quite.
Actually, just one last thing with the Naughty Dog game. I was looking at it. I was kind of excited for it until one thing showed up on screen. Directed by Neil Druckmann.
Yeah, you don't like Neil Druckmann. You don't like Neil Druckmann, Elliot.
Honest to God,
I also don't.
That man is a fucking disease.
I'll be honest.
He thinks he deserves the legacy of a lot of the other big developers like Kojima, Hidetaka Miyazaki. I throw Sam Lake in there now. But the difference is, although the legacies of all those developed over time, and it almost feels like they don't really acknowledge they have that legacy. Like whenever you see an interview with someone, like he's always going on about how he wants to use gaming as an art form to like do things that have never been done, and that's the kind of thing I respect. With Neil Druckmann, I think of the the moment when he was at the Golden Globes for the first Last of Us season, and he stood there in front of the thing waiting for his picture to be taken.
I think
It's just like, mate, it's not about you.
I think the thing is though, I feel like we have to give this game a chance. I don't think we could say, well, we didn't like the ending of Last of Us Part 2 and we have a lot of unfavorable opinions of Neil Druckmann, so therefore we're going to go in with the mindset this game's going to be terrible.
The reason why it just makes me worried is because Neil Druckmann helped with Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us Part 1. Last of Us Part 2 was the only game that he's directed so far.
What about Uncharted 1 and 2? How involved was he in those ones?
I don't know. I think all I know him is I apparently worked on 4 and Last of Us.
Yeah, no, okay, so I think we need to talk about the awards themselves.
For Uncharted 1 and 2, he was only a designer and co-writer.
Right, so he hasn't...
Yeah.
It's kind of...
He's only co-writer for all the other ones, and when he ended up becoming in charge, he actually kicked out the person who did the most involvement in The Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah, when you think about it like that, it's kind of like, why is he the big name at Naughty Dog? Because he's only directed... he's done a lot there.
He's only directed one game, and it divided a fucking fan base.
Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest...
No, he's directed 5 now with Intergalactic. The first Last of Us, The Last of Us Left Behind, which is our DLC spin-off thing.
That's a bit...
Uncharted 4, The Last of Us 2, and now Intergalactic. So that's technically 5 things he's directed. 5.
I mean, so he did direct Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's...
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was like a co-direction thing because there was someone else who worked on it. I'm pretty sure.
He was the only creative director for Last of Us 1. He was he was also the director for Uncharted 4, but co-writer for that.
Yeah, he was co-writer for both Last of Us 1 and Uncharted 4, I'm pretty sure.
No, he was the sole writer for Last of Us 1.
Wait, really? I could have sworn I saw somewhere someone said like that. Oh, there was someone who did a lot of the work with them Last of Us 1.
Well, yeah, but this is where the credits have led us, so we have to go with that one right now. So unless someone's been left off the credits, which would be extremely bad business practice.
You're probably thinking of Last of Us 2, Elliot. He's a lead co-writer for that while being the director.
So
and he was incredibly unsubtle with a lot of his preaching bit.
Yep.
So let's talk about the awards themselves. So Sam Lake actually had one of the best presentations of the night with his internal monologue.
Yeah, I think that was a very subtle tease for Max Payne. Because we do know a Max Payne remake is in the works.
Yeah, Max Payne, and I've also heard that Xbox might be working on making the early Max Payne games backwards compatible.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Oh god, you know what that means? We have to play Max Payne 3.
There's there was the bigger winners on the night. Without giving away our thoughts, because we're going to have our own things. Astrobot won 4 awards, including Game of the Year. Metaphor ReFantazio was also a big winner on the night. It won 3 awards. And Balatro was also...
Same with... also, Balatro won 3.
Balatro won 3. Best mobile game, best indie game, and best indie debut.
Notice that he's... Notice, folks, that he's excluded to mention a bunch of other ones, specifically the ones he's biased with.
What? I said... What?
The ones that... Well, the winners, like Hellblade won 2.
Hellblade won 2, yeah. So did Black Myth Wukong. That took 2, including Player's Choice, which we'll come back to. What
also same with Helldivers.
Helldivers won a couple, yeah. It did very well.
Yep, it also won 2.
Final Fantasy VII Remake won 1. It won Best Soundtrack.
Which I'm surprised it won that one.
I'm not surprised at all. The soundtrack's fantastic in that one.
I thought it would be Metaphor that would win that one.
A
lot of people were praising the soundtrack of Metaphor more than they were Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I was on the night. I was actually keeping an eye on the soundtrack award because I thought that was going to help me predict the final, how the night was going to end. Because I'd noticed at that point, Metaphor and Astrobot both had 3 awards. And I thought, well, they've not been nominated in the same category. This is the first time they've been nominated in the same category. whoever wins this is probably going to win the final award. And then they announced Final Fantasy VII Rebirth had won, and I was like, well, now it could go to either of them at the end. But I was then worried, oh no, are they going to give it to Black Myth Wukong?
Yeah, that would have been the worst.
That would have been the worst choice. And I include the Elden Ring DLC, which I found it funny they introduced that rule to say that Shadow the Erd Tree could be nominated, and then it didn't win a single award on the night.
Yeah, hence why I said I don't think any game was hit worse with Elden Ring being nominated than Elden Ring itself.
I kind
Yeah, because Elden Ring got 5 nominations, 1-0.
Yeah, the entire time stuff people talking about how good the DLC was. I just saw people complaining about, oh, why is the DLC nominated for all of these?
Well, yeah, there was even Statler and Waldorf made a joke about it.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like it would have been fine if any other DLC was also nominated for a bunch of these awards, but it wasn't. It was just Elden Ring.
What about the Player's Choice Award, which is the only voted one? That they need to start adding more stringent guidelines for that award, because that was a complete joke.
The final 5 were just gacha games and Black Myth Wukong.
And Elden Ring DLC.
Gacha games that didn't even come out that year.
And the reason why it's a big issue is the fact of the gacha games now can offer incentives in-game for votes. So they completely play the system. So they have to make rules in place to say that these games cannot be nominated. Like Zenless Zone Zero, I think it's called. The new one is done by
Zenless Zone Zero, yeah.
That at least came out in 2024. That's a right.
I say that is allowed to be nominated because it came out this year.
But why is Genshin Impact there? Why was that there? And like there was so many games that like Astrobot got knocked out in the second round, and yet it went on to win Game of the Year. That is ridiculous. Because again, Team Asobi cannot compete with these companies bribing their audience for votes.
Yeah, especially because Genshin Impact came out in 2020.
This is ridiculous. You can't do. And so I think Jeff Keighley and the team need to introduce stringent rules about the Player's Choice Awards. I don't mean get rid of the award by any means, but you have to introduce rules about who can be nominated and what you can do. And I would have a rule if, for example, let's take a game I actually like that might get nominated. Let's say Marvel Rivals gets nominated in this category. I would like it to be a rule that Marvel Rivals, that NetEast cannot introduce in-game incentives for me and Reese to vote for it.
I would say, I would add the stipulation that if they did, they're out.
Yes, I agree.
If they did, we're kicking you out. We're kicking you out of the nomination.
Yeah, so if Genshin Impact goes in and they find that they've made incentives for votes, Genshin Impact is out. Yeah. You can't vote for Genshin Impact. You broke the rules. It's the same.
Honestly, I would probably go as far as to say, if you came out this year and you're nominated for other awards, you're barred for those awards as well.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that one's
because I think if you're going that far, say, "Oh, vote for this," is not. I feel like they're not just going to say, "Oh, vote for us with Player's Choice." It's going to be vote for anything.
So if NetEast get caught doing it, they say, "I don't care if you're up for best multiplayer game. You've made this incentive. You're now not up for best multiplayer game."
Yeah, I will go that far.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Reese. As much as we like it, there's so many big stuff coming out in 2025. Marvel Rivals is not being nominated for Game of the Year, I don't think.
No, especially with Monster Hunter on the horizon next month.
Yeah, so I think
like honestly, if Elden Ring Night Rain ended up doing like sort of a live servicey thing, and they started incentivizing that, I would say, yeah, kick them out.
I agree. I think
that's fucking Elden Ring.
But it is. And it's kind of weird to say that, considering that award shows are kind of based on. But the reason I don't think it will happen is award shows are kind of based on bribery enough as it is. Like if you ever, you look at For Your Consideration campaigns for the Oscars, they're basically massive bribes that they make to the voters.
Yeah.
The Golden. If you ever watched, I would recommend watching the Adam Ruins Everything segment on on sort of like the fallacy of award shows, because there's a lot of behind the scenes bribery that goes on for nominations.
Oh yeah, I would have fully expect that.
But how do we feel about Astrobot winning. Without giving away our thoughts for 2 weeks' time, what's our thoughts on Astrobot's win?
I'm happy.
Yeah, same. I'm happy.
Same.
It was fun, kind of interesting. Like, for one thing, you could definitely tell the Team Asobi guys that went to collect it, they were not expecting to win.
Yeah, they really were. You gotta love how like they actually gave some props to Mario. Just simply for like starting the platformer. You just think, these guys are good.
And I love the fact they showed.
Give them the company.
I just love the fact they showed up as well with Astrobot plushies in their lapel.
Yeah.
As well, that was hysterical. And
yeah, it's kind of like how the director of Baldur's Gate 3 showed up at the Game Awards wearing a full suit of armor. Actually, that's actually another thing kind of funny. The Black Myth Wukong fans and the director are so salty.
Yeah,
massively.
They are so goddamn salty about it, to the point where they've actually started not long after it happened, they started review bombing Baldur's Gate 3 because the director gave out the award.
Yeah, that was in
He didn't pick it.
That was the fan base that definitely really got pissy because they couldn't. Obviously, there's no PC version of Astrobot yet.
Yeah. I find it funny that that fan base was incredibly salty that they didn't win the Game of the Year. Meanwhile, the Yakuza fan base was happy we got nominated for one thing.
So, incidentally, I will be honest. I don't take a lot of credence behind the whole the devs were crying when they didn't win, because there's only one eyewitness account that I've heard for that one, and no one's really corroborated it. So I'm taking that information with a pinch of salt, because I think you could have got that wrong. But there was also a report supposedly that the director of the game had written an acceptance speech 2 years ago. I can't believe that that's true. I think that one.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
I don't believe that one for a second. Again, there's only one report of that one that got, and it hasn't. I don't think it's been corroborated. But I do believe the director did go. Did the director go on record to blast the awards? Because I swear that one actually happened.
I'm pretty sure I heard that happened. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard that he was at the very least really salty.
He was apparently quite salty that they lost because it was the first Chinese game to be nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
and that should be an accomplishment in of itself. You're the first game of your nation to be nominated for Game of the Year, and you're
Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure I heard that the Metal Gear Fantastic director was just like, "Hey, we got nominated. Thanks, guys."
Yeah, Atlas. It was their best. A metaphor for them was an amazing achievement because it's their best scoring game ever at the awards. They not only got the most amount of nominations of any game they've ever put out, most awards. They got 3 awards, including best RPG, and that was hotly contested this year.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Atlas. You did fantastic with that one.
Are there what other awards are you really happy about? Like, what ones in particular are just like, yes, I'm so happy about that?
I'd say Tekken 8 winning best fighting game. That one?
Yeah, that was well deserved.
That was well deserved.
Especially with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
My one is absolutely best performance. Media Jurgens as Senua. She gave a fucking amazing performance. She absolutely deserved the win.
I agree. She did fantastic. And I'm glad Hellblade 2 got a couple of awards multiple awards on the night. Absolutely deserved it. It was a fantastic game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I was so worried for a bit because I thought it will probably go to Brianna White as Aerith in Final Fantasy. No, I'm really happy Media Jurgens got it.
I must confess, I did vote for Brianna White to win.
I voted for Media Jurgens, obviously.
Yeah, no, I'm not disappointed Media Jurgens won. She gave a fantastic performance.
Yeah.
In that game. Especially considering she had to do not only the voice acting, she had to do the motion capture performance as well.
The thing I find really surprising, apparently, according to her credits, she's only ever voiced Senua.
Yeah,
like apparently, like I could be very, 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 very wrong.
And voice acting is it's really a different challenge altogether. So to be able to take to it like that, is a phenomenal achievement.
Yeah.
So, so I think we're all agreed. For the 10th anniversary, they did a brilliant job, and it was and I was like, I cannot. But I remember thinking at like 4:30 in the morning, I for once am so happy after a Game Awards.
Yeah, I'm looking at it up. She's only done acting for the Hellblade series.
She needs more work. She's fantastic.
She really does. Like, apparently, I think she had like another job on Hellblade on Senua's Sacrifice, apparently, and she just ended up being the voice for Senua.
So, I think we got to say though, I think one of the other highlights of the night for me was Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just the Kojima line alone was fully worth it.
I love that one. Yeah.
Did you know that he and Jeff are friends? Yes, but does Kojima know? Oh!
I just pans to his face.
Yeah.
As Kojima was just like stoic.
And then I kept seeing a meme online after that of it. Hey, look, there's a Kojima. Just shoot it.
My favorite one is, I think another one I quite like was, we already are developers. We are? Yes, by watching the show, we're developing an avoidance to bad taste. Ah! Oh, I like one saying they're nominated DLC this year. Next thing you know, they'll be giving a Lifetime Achievement Award for pre-order bonuses. They are Stan and Waldorf are my favorite part of the Muppets, so to get them here was fantastic. So I think we're all agreed, best of Game Awards ever. Then it's going to be hard to top it.
Game Awards was great. Hope Snoop Dogg makes a reappearance next year.
With 3 songs this time instead of 2.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The musical performances, actually, that's the downside. 21 Pilots' musical performance wasn't that great.
Let's be honest, the best musical performance there was Alan Wake.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's nothing's ever going to top the old God of Udgard. Yeah, that's a problem.
Absolutely not.
So, let's move on to the next topic, which was on December 20th, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 came out, and it beat Mufasa in the US box office, so Disney had to lie in their marketing for it.
Yeah,
which they got community noted on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? The song, come on. I was going to say something, I can't word it.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one later, Elliot.
Yep. Well, I mean, what do you expect? Did you know about my brother?
Oh, God, I've only seen...
He's not sure he's my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It was so bad watching that in the seats.
Unfortunately, Reese has seen it.
Yeah, you have seen...
Yeah, because I was trying to say about my sister.
So, Reese, obviously this isn't a movie podcast.
So this is going to be us talking about Sonic and Reese talking about Mufasa.
No, I'm talking about both because I have seen both now.
Okay, and you're definitely agreed Sonic is the better movie of the two.
Miles better.
Yeah, the only thing I'm a bit...
Mufasa was so bad.
Yeah, because we won't...
Apparently that brother song was like one of the best songs of the movie.
Yeah, so if there's two...
It was, but it's not even close. But
the
best song of the film was Mads Mikkelsen doing the song as the villain.
But there's 2 films right now I'm recommending everyone go and see.
Number one is Mufasa.
Number 1 is obviously Sonic 3, and the other one is Nosferatu.
I've seen that on Sunday. Yeah. No spoilers.
No spoilers. You're in for a treat, Elliot.
Double billing. Take the kids to Sonic and take them to Nosferatu.
But no. So what? I'm incredibly biased when it comes to Sonic.
Obviously,
of course.
So
I can hear you wanking from over here.
So I'm gonna get Elliot's thoughts first. What did you think of Sonic 3?
Good.
Good.
Fun. It's fun.
Reese?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a good time.
I did my top 5 movies of 2024 the other day. This came number 1.
And also second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Fucking course it did.
Second place went to The Wild Robot. And third place... what did I give third place? It's 2 again.
See, like you said, you went Wild Robot because you've not seen Transformers 1 this year.
I didn't see Transformers 1. I made that clear when I did the thing, though. There's some things I haven't seen.
Yeah, I apologize. I too did not see the Miners movie.
I will say I put there's two I put yeah, I had Sonic 3 at number 1, Wild Robot at number 2, Furiosa at number 3, Long Legs at 4, and Alien Romulus at 5.
Where the fuck is Dune?
I'll be honest, Elliot. I completely did. Dune nearly made the list. Dune nearly made the list, but I just...
You nearly said you forgot about Dune, didn't you?
I nearly said I forgot about Dune, yes.
You forgot... Oh, my fucking God. Dune was great, shut up.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'll give you that one, but they are too long. Those films are too long. I can't...
Yeah, it's a big book.
Which is why I should... never mind. Anyway...
This is an example as to why attention spans are going downhill.
But the... okay... Can I say something I'm not a huge fan of about the... what do you... I'm not a huge fan of Jelly Roll's theme at the end.
That's okay.
What I wasn't a fan of was how most of the human side cast from the prior two films have been sidelined now.
Yeah, but I think...
With Cyclops and his wife. They were just sort of there.
Yeah, it does. I feel like they are taking that feedback of they don't really like the human cast. But the problem is they've kind of overcorrected.
Yeah.
So I'll tell
Which
you...
is my big problem.
I also kind of wonder, why is Kristen Ritter in this movie?
I will admit, I do have a fair... I think I'm probably dislike the film more than you two did. I did like it, don't get me wrong, but I think I had more problems with it from the sounds of it.
I don't know why Kristen Ritter's in this movie. She doesn't really do much of anything. I can't figure out what her character motivations are.
Which one's that? Is that the gun person?
Yeah, she's the one who played Jessica Jones.
She was also in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, she kind of just disappears.
Do you know when she was announced? Her casting was announced. I thought she was playing Rouge. But, spoiler alert, Rouge isn't even in this movie.
We're going to go into spoilers in this film, in this review. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid spoilers for a little bit. But, I really like them, but I really like this movie a ton. I actually think this is the best of the 3 movies.
Same.
I don't know if I go that far. Probably think all films are on par with one another. Personally,
I tell you what, I didn't really like the dance sequence between the 2 Jim Carreys.
Oh, I thought that was fun.
Same. I quite like that.
I did think it went on for a bit too long, but I just thought it was fun.
If anything, I kind of preferred the one in the. If I was going, I think I preferred the one in the second movie.
Actually, do you want to know one issue I had? Dr. Stone was, or Mr. Stone was not in the film enough.
Agent Stone is not in the film enough. Although I am now obsessed with the idea of revenge guac.
I don't like guac.
But I actually, which is kind of amazing because I thought they were going to give him even more screen time considering how popular he got.
Yeah, he was kind of like sort of pushed to the side a little bit.
And
which is because he's one of the best parts of the movie. Movies.
Yeah.
I say second best part. Best part's Jim Carrey. And he still continues to be amazing in this one.
We have to discuss the obvious thing. What do we think of Keanu Reeves' Shadow?
If I'm being entirely honest,
I thought it was good.
I'll be entirely honest. I think his performance is a bit flat.
I actually like him as Shadow. I think he does quite well in it. I think they actually did very well with the CG animation because they really sell Shadow's expressions quite well.
I do like Keanu in this. Don't get me wrong, but I did feel like his performance was. Yeah, I think it was kind of flat. If I'm being entirely honest,
it's a kind of.
There wasn't a lot of range in the emotions. I don't think. I think, in all fairness, you're contrasting it with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, all of which are so amazingly performed. But it just felt like it's not. It doesn't feel like he's bringing his A game. If I'm being honest.
To be fair, though, I think it's because we're comparing him with his John Wick performances. He's given a lot more expressive performance, less expressive performances in the past. Like.
I'm more comparing him to his performance in Cyberpunk, honestly.
I get what you mean, yeah, but
I thought he was really expressive in Cyberpunk.
Oh, there are way worse Keanu Reeves performances. Like, have you ever seen him in Bram Stoker's Dracula? Like,
No,
Oh,
I have
yeah.
seen him. I have seen him in Constantine.
oh, that's what terrible
Yeah,
as well.
he was good in Constantine.
That's
It's a bad film, but he was good in it.
yeah,
It's
but
okay.
yeah, but in Bram Stoker's Dracula, Keanu Reeves tries to do a British accent and fails miserably.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's Dominic Noble's review summed it up best, where he said, "No, Keanu, bad. That's not what we sound like. Stop it."
Yeah, they tried to have a stint as an action star with Speed and Point Break.
I actually
After that,
I actually like both of those movies.
yeah, I also do. Just when it's funny though, he goes from like trying to do like a character drama in the original Dracula, so then goes straight into like the action films.
It is amazing though. We have a Keanu Reeves reference in the first movie, and now we actually have Keanu Reeves in these movies.
Yeah.
But
It would have been funny if Sonic went, "Wait, you sound familiar." I don't know.
I mean, I think the funny lines hit better this time, even if they are a bit more in-jokey.
Yeah.
I do still like the line. He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
Yeah.
I think the humor in the second film was a bit better, if I'm being entirely honest. But I think it's just because in that one we got more Knuckles, and Knuckles is the funniest character in these films.
Yeah.
Aside from Jim Carrey.
And if I'm going to do one last criticism, because I don't want to do too many criticisms of this movie,
My criticism, I think I'm going to have to do in spoiler.
I kind of felt like this whole thing pointed out that the Knuckles series was kind of pointless because it doesn't really tie into much of anything.
Kind of, yeah.
Because it only ties.
Well, it ties into who's looking after the Master Emerald, but that's it.
That's all it ties into. Yeah, that's.
I'm going to be honest. The only thing I really remember from the Knuckles film was "A Flame's a Disaster."
Still, love those memes.
"A Flame's a Disaster."
So let's.
Which I assume is what happened to LA recently.
Oh,
People have been joking about it. My heart and soul goes out to them, but
yeah, I've got friends in LA, so I really I've
no, you don't, Cal.
I do. I've got a friend in LA. He messaged earlier, so I know he's fine. But yeah, no. So I'm gonna say, shall we move on to spoilers?
Yeah, move on to spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, this film is very referential heavy. Like, I did like the line of what? No in-flight movie. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I feel like the references are a little bit too obvious this time. Like, I liked how in Sonic 2, the references were more blink and you'll miss it sort of thing.
I'll tell you one
Like,
thing.
I think about how like the robot's instruction manual looked like a Sega Master System manual, for example, things like that.
Yeah, but there's all sorts of things in this one where I'm kind of like that doesn't really work.
Yeah, like to go back to the in-flight movies bit, that did feel a bit forced.
Yeah, I was kind of like, yeah.
It just felt like, oh wait, we need to use this reference. Put it here.
Whereas the ones that work the best are the ones that are most organic, like the one where Sonic collapses, like the opening of the Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Yeah. That one works.
That one works out.
The other subtle one I liked is when Sonic's in London trying to get through the shield, and you hear the City Escape theme in the background blending into the score.
Yeah.
That was some of the best moments of the film. Just go to Abbey Road, John, Paul, George, the other one. I was cool though. I wish I'd known Sonic was being filmed in London because I would have gone and hung out around the set.
Yeah. I could just imagine like behind the scenes, just you getting dragged away. You just want to touch it. I just want to touch it.
By the way, have you actually seen the pictures of the behind the scenes stuff with the puppets they were using? Because they look weird.
Yeah, it looked hilarious.
Incidentally, though, we never really discussed what we thought about the dual Jim Carreys, because they did have that joke at the beginning, saying almost as if we're being played by the same actor.
I thought they were both great.
I thought it worked really well.
It does feel a bit weird that the two biggest genocidal characters in the Sonic canon have been played in comedic ways by comedic actors, because we've had the leader of the Echidna tribe, ancient Echidna tribe, who killed all the Chow, who played by Doc Brown from Back to the Future. And we've now
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd, and we've now had Jim Carrey play Gerald Robotnik, who I think there was some stuff cut from the movie about his motivation, because because I thought, wait, why did they show that flashback with of him taking one of Shadow's quills while no one's looking? And then his motivation is exactly the same as it is in the game, that as soon as Maria died, he went nuts.
Yeah.
Well, he got massively depressed, because now in the film's lore, he tries to kill himself along with everyone else.
Yeah, that's the
other big in the game where he was already dead.
Yeah, to be fair, that does have less plot holes than it does in Sonic Adventure 2 in that instance. Though I do have to wonder with Gun, why did you build it? What possible purpose did the Eclipse Cannon serve? At least in the game logic, the Eclipse Cannon served a kind of purpose. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it was made by... It was just made by Robotnik, I'm pretty sure, in that one.
Yeah, in the original...
Well, this one, it's just like, we asked him to build this. It's like, why?
Yeah, it was kind of... in the games, he kind of builds it as a bargaining chip with the aliens.
Yeah.
In the movies, it's just like Gunn went, this is a pretty cool idea. Why don't we just build it? But couldn't we someone just hijack it and use it to destroy the planet? Don't get caught up in details.
But there's two separate keys. No one would have two separate keys at the same time.
We're not doing this Metal Gear Solid logic.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. We'll make two keys, so it's not as easy.
And we'll put one of them in one of the most heavily tourist cities, in one of the most heavily tourist areas in said city. It's near Big Ben and the London Eye. You get hundreds of people around there.
It's okay. As long as they don't have as long as these people don't have cloaking and have more than 3 brain cells, we'll be okay. Gunn are kind of idiots in these films.
Yeah. Also, by the way,
I still stand by them staging a wedding to capture Sonic in the second film is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a kids movie.
Yeah, but I also want to point out, does Sadiq Khan know, or I should say now Sir Sadiq Khan, does he know that there's a massive planet-destroying weapon under the Thames, or have Gunn kept him silent on that one?
Yeah, come on, mathematics.
It's for that, because I can imagine. I'm just imagining Keir Starmer looking out saying, "Guys, what the fuck is that?" When it's going up into the space.
I really say this about Gerald Robotnik. He did give me the scene in the film that gave me the biggest laugh, which is him and Eggman in VR.
Oh,
reenacting all these things.
And then just pull Agent Stone with the 2 copies.
Genuinely, just seeing them both doing all that stuff. Honest to God, made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic sequence. I think the part people mention is the fact we get that amazing sequence where Live and Learn comes on, and then it goes straight to a Gerald spanking Eggman scene. It's like the most epic moment in the movie, and then it's followed up by that comedian.
And then followed up by Calvin's kink.
Funny. Also, while we're on the subject, how do I thought Gerald Robotnik kind of went out in a bit of a weird way.
Yeah.
Also, to be fair though, they have to potentially get rid of both of them, because we don't know if Jim Carrey's going to want to come back for Sonic 4.
Oh no, he has confirmed he's up for it.
He's up for it, but he's not confirmed he's definitely going to do it. But to be fair, they're going to have to
I just find it really funny that after Sonic 1 came out, he was saying he was on the verge of retiring. And since then, we've just seen him as Robotnik.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, I was skeptical about his casting at first, but the longer these films have gone on, I'm like, yeah, no, he's worked for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially because we see his progression from how he started to being Eggman now.
Yeah, one detail I learned that I actually really like was for him was when he had his head shaved again. Apparently he actually grew his hair out that long, and actually got the guy called Dr. Stone to shave it, which I thought was really cool.
Well, that's method acting
And
taken
like,
to an extreme.
and like they were joking about it behind the scenes a lot, John. A lot of the shaving.
I do a lot. I love the fact they took method acting to that level, because then they had fucked up one take, they would have been in real trouble.
Yeah, just like, ah, shit. Okay, folks, delay by another 4 years.
Which, I mean, obviously this film's done very well in its pre-sales and its current sales, because Sonic 4 got confirmed pretty much the day it came out.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's coming out... It's a while off. It's coming out, like, 2027, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. It's a couple of years away.
Yeah, it's like every 2 or 3 years, I think we're getting a new Sonic movie.
Apparently, we might be getting a TV series in the meantime.
Of course.
I think...
Just like we did with the Knuckles TV show.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a Shadow one.
It could be a Shadow one, or it could be another character, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm also wondering if Tails is going to get their own TV series, because I think that would make some sense.
I don't really know, because I think Tails is pretty well Tails' character is pretty well established at this point.
Yeah, and also because I think as well, though. Can I say as well, the action sequences in this movie are amazing. The fight scene at the end with Super Shadow and Super Sonic was so good.
Yeah. If I'm being entirely honest, that's actually one kind of criticism. I think Shadow's switch to the good side is done a little bit too fast.
Especially considering they actually showed his turn to the dark side really well. Like that you really get that sense of Maria is his humanity, and once she's killed, he's
like when you
lost
compare
that.
it to the second film with Sonic and Knuckles had a lot of interactions, and Sonic had a lot of sort of conversations with him that sort of led to that. Meanwhile, with this one, it's just sort of like, we fight, okay, I'm friends now.
What about...
because the whole thing is Sonic being up Shadow and saying, "Don't be a dick, Shadow." And Shadow going, "Okay."
What about the final? We'll talk about. What about the chase sequence in Tokyo? I really like that one.
That was probably the best part of the film for me.
Yeah, that was fantastically done. From one hedgehog to another. Who does your highlights?
It's also game accurate because Shadow has a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more you talk, the more I want to hit you. But again, the Tokyo Tower part of that sequence was just fantastic.
Yeah.
The bit before that though was a little bit mixed for me, because like we get this, actually I think it was after that, because we get this officer show up, talk to Sonic. They go to this Five Nights at Freddy's chow thing. He gives exposition, fucking dies.
No, I think he's just knocked out. I don't think he's dead.
No, he's dead.
No, he's dead. He's confirmed to be dead.
He's confirmed dead.
He's supposed to be the gun commander. He's what always says about Olive Garden in the first two films.
Yeah,
the first time he goes to a place that isn't Olive Garden, he dies.
They killed the Olive Garden guy.
All I can say is I wouldn't be surprised if he turns up in movie 4.
And actually, that's also another point. Spoiler alert: Maria doesn't get shot. 0 out of 10. And so with Shadow's hatred for him, you think, oh, he's probably the one who shot Maria. No, he tried to stop the shot. So why is he the one being singled out by Shadow?
I think Shadow is so blinded by rage that he's not really thinking clearly.
Why does he go after some of the other guys? Why is it specifically him that's pointed out? Like, you!
I've no... Yeah. To be fair, though, if he hadn't done the shot... If he hadn't moved it, maybe the gun commander wouldn't have fired the shot.
I feel like it would have been more understandable if he was the one who made the shot. I think they just didn't want to risk it with an already established character. They just wanted to be a nameless grunt.
And it's annoying because the sequences with Shadow and Maria are some of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, but if everything though, say about Maria's death, it should be Shadow hating himself more, because the explosive barrels were made from his own chaos energy. So he effectively killed her himself. I
did like, though, that Live and Learn...
Yeah, in that case, actually, Joe Robotnik should have hated Shadow more.
If anything, though, before we overthink this, I did like the fact that Live and Learn did tie into the song tied into the theme of the movie as well. It wasn't just put in there for fan service.
Yeah.
It kind of was, though.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it
was a little bit.
But
you can also argue that Live and Learn, that's also the theme of Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, and also you
That
have,
makes sense.
and though I did like the fact that Maria's playing it on the acoustic guitar in that first flashback sequence.
Yeah.
But the I will say as well, I think we need to talk about the post credit scenes.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
first,
I said this in the Twitch chat after I watched it. When that post credit scene happened, I actually heard someone scream.
yeah,
Hood pulled back. It's Amy.
yeah. So Amy Rose is confirmed to now be in these movies. I'm glad she's finally made the jump, and
They really waited to Sonic 4 to have her.
yeah, I know. That seems interesting. But Metal Sonic as well now in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, not just one Metal Sonic, multiple.
Which I wonder how that's gonna work. Because in the game, Metal Sonic was created by Robotnik.
With the exception, I think, of the British Sonic comics, that's always been the case. Yeah, the Brit.
Yeah, which makes me think if the next film's going to be an adaptation of a Sonic CD, because that was the game that introduced both of those characters.
I
And
don't
you had
think
Metal Sonic.
I don't think that will be the case because CD came out between 2 and 3, and so by that point it was just Sonic and Tails. I think now they've introduced too many characters to really adapt Sonic CD.
If they're not adapting,
maybe they do some kind of version of Sonic Heroes.
I actually think they're going to go down a completely different route. I think they're not going to adapt any of the games next time, and they're just going to do their own thing, which may not be the best thing for them to do because the last time they did that, we had the Knuckles TV series, and that's a mixed bag at best.
I mean, in all fairness, all the other games were loosely based on the games.
Yeah, let's be honest. This is a very loose this game, for example, is a very loose adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
And
And also, Sonic Adventure, the first film was its own thing. That didn't adapt any of the games.
Yeah, let's be honest. That really doesn't adapt any of the games. So, what have we? And then of course the second post-credit scene is confirming that Shadow did not make the try to make the sacrifice again, but somehow survived again because you can't kill this guy.
Yeah, which is what we learned in Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, but we're not going to show him. We're not going to show him completely on screen because we don't know if Keanu Reeves wants to come back to play him again.
I mean, in Sonic Heroes, isn't it kind of hinted that he's an android?
That was one of the plot lines, but Eggman confirms at the end he's not an android.
Oh. Yeah, because if you wait 10 minutes after battling Metal Overlord, I think Eggman says on the radio.
It's the final version of Doom is that if you go to the end of that, if you go 10 minutes into that fight, which is possible considering how bullshit that fight is, then Eggman will say you're not a copy, you are the original Shadow. So and again, I kind of like saying, wait, so I went through this whole thing in 2 games for that line of dialogue, and that's it?
Yep.
At least Sonic Heroes is okay.
Yeah, I like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog isn't very good, I'm going to be honest.
I like that. I like that game.
I don't want to play...
It was too complex with its mission structure.
Yeah, and I don't want to play the same level 10 fucking times at a bare minimum just to get every ending.
Mate, how many times have you played Sonic Generations?
Yeah, but those levels are quick. You can beat them in like 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah, you could do that with the first level in Shadow the Hedgehog.
That's all well and good, but then you got to do the other.
Go to the end. It's like 3 minutes.
Yeah, but have you tried some of those missions?
Yeah, because I don't forget for the other options, like for the evil one, you have to kill like 30 soldiers. That's just longer than 3 minutes.
And there was always one I could never fucking find.
That's like 5 minutes.
No. It took me 10. I could not find the last fucker. It took me ages to find him.
Nah, I did it pretty easily.
So, I feel like we're saying with this one, I liked it more than you two.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, I'd give it like a solid 8 out of 10.
Elliot?
I'd probably say 7.5.
9. 9 out of 10. Because it's got flaws.
That's a bit low for you, Cal.
It's got flaws, but I like it in spite of them.
Yeah.
That's the way I'd look at it. Is this my favorite video game movie adaptation? Not sure. I don't think so.
I say no for me. There are so many. I think there are others that are a lot better, like Arcane, Castlevania.
Oh right, if we're including all those, then yeah, it's definitely not.
If we're talking movies,
Well, we also have the original Doom with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No fucking way.
we also have the original Street Fighter with John Leguizamo, right? No, I think it's someone else. I don't know.
No, yeah, John Leguizamo's Mario.
Raul Julia.
Julia.
Bison.
Yeah, and I like that movie, but my favorite adaptation, I think my favorite video game adaptation still, in terms of like movies, and it counts because it was released as a movie in its full form, Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, the fan film that got picked up by Capcom.
Oh yeah.
So this is an official release by Capcom. They did license it out. And if you ever wanted a story that really gets down Ryu-Ken and Go-Ken's relationship and does the impossible of turning Akuma into a sympathetic villain, it's a perfect project. It's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I think if I was taking TV series and all that into account, I think I still prefer the Castlevania stuff, which is coming back really fucking soon.
Woo! Cannot wait. Nocturne was the weakest, but it was still good.
Well, season 2 of Nocturne starts, I think, today or tomorrow, actually.
Sick.
Yeah, and also Elliot's going to want to watch Sakamoto Days because Matt Mercer's got the lead role.
I'm gonna want to watch Sakamoto Days anyway. I've read some of the manga; it's great.
You must have loved it when you heard Matt Mercer got the lead role.
I did not know Matt Mercer got the lead role.
I just posted it in chat last night. Matt Mercer's got the lead role in Sakamoto.
I deleted Twitter.
You still had it on the phone? Oh, have you deleted it completely?
I've deleted it on my phone. I don't go on it on my PC very often.
Oh, right.
That's kind of the point.
Oh, then I need to chat to you after we're done recording because I got our details sorted for Vakken.
Okay.
Oh
wait, did you send me that?
Yeah, I sent you. By the way, we're booking the flights for Vakken.
Yeah, you just said working on flights.
They're now confirmed. Anyway, Reese, what do you think is your favorite video game adaptation now?
It probably would still be the Castlevania TV show.
Yeah, it is weird to think Castlevania is still up there, even now. Like, they've not... Like, it feels like... I'm wondering, is anything going to come along that will overshadow it?
Because, like, otherwise, if you stick to films, like, what else are you going to choose? Like, Detective Pikachu.
That's all right.
It's about the next one.
Yeah, but again, I've to point out the Street Fighter Assassin's Fist you've got. The Professor Layton movie is pretty good.
You've got the Warcraft film that was big in China.
Oh god, that movie was awful.
I've heard good things about the Tetris movie.
I don't have Apple TV, so I haven't seen it.
So, guys, also we've got the Uncharted film.
I completely.
We've also got the Monster Hunter film.
Do you know? I completely forgot the Uncharted film was a thing until you mention it again, and I went to the cinema to see that. The PlayStation Productions logo.
Spider-Man and Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah. I think it's time to call this one a day. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back.
Okay, I'd like to know. I love the video game-based movies. One of the things Google put up said is if you like Scott the Woz.
Nice.
But it's actually something kind of funny. I learned recently there's actually an album called Scott the Woz.
Wow.
It's by a grindcore band called Bottomless Violence. It is a grand total of 3-minute long.
Love it.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks with our awards show, and then 3 weeks for Anime of the Year.
Who's ready for bad opinions?
I think I'm interested on how we're going with this one. I'm looking forward to doing that one. I'll send you guys the list of nominations after we're done recording. Thank you very much for joining us. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye. Hang on, I've got to actually hit it. Christ.